Working on the Chevette, got the motor put in it. This is the LT1 that I rebuilt to put in here. Had to cut the steering column off with the motor this far back. It was right in the way. So I got some U-joints and some double D to go on it. This piece here is a piece of 3/4 double D that I'm gonna weld into here. I drilled a hole so I can put a plug weld there and then pull the U-joint out and weld it all the way around. So we'll get that on there. I've got this U-joint, which is a double that fits onto the rack. And I've got one more U-joint so I can try to keep it out of the way, and then to hold it up, I got a 3/4 inch Heims joint that the double D will go through to keep everything where it's supposed to be. Here's what we got so far. Got the 2 or 3 U-joints put on. There's the Heims joint that would go under here to hold it solid, but I'm going to take this apart and try rearranging these U-joints and see if it makes it work any better. Got the steering column pretty much done. The only thing we have left to do is to put a bushing in here to keep this from moving. So got a header on there just to see if what'll fit. We redid this one. We took the lower U-joint and this double U-joint apart and swapped the ends so we could have a single U-joint on the bottom that will fit on the rack and a double in the middle. So we got that done. So once we get a bushing done and we'll brace this, we'll put a tab off of the column and up to the firewall to make that solid, and then we'll get started on something else. Got the Chevette sitting out here, put some tires on it so I could roll it out by the door, get some breeze. Working on transmission tunnel and some floor pans for it. Didn't film anything because we just started working and didn't stop till it was about done. Got some floor pieces here we mocked up to see where the transmission tunnel was going to sit. Those will be trimmed down and probably put some beads in them with the bead roller. Here is the transmission tunnel that we ended up with. We built this here. This just covers the bell housing, and then this will cover the transmission and the drive shaft all the way to the drive shaft loop. So should look pretty good once it's in the car, nice and simple. Got the tunnel welded up pretty much, welded up more once it's in the car. Working on the floor pans. We set the tunnel back in to mark how much of the floor pans needed to be trimmed off. The passenger side is still sitting in there. The driver's side, we trimmed it up. We started putting some beads in it. We got one all the way around the perimeter, and now we're going to put some up where your feet are going to be, leaving this area flat so the seat will be easier to mount. At least that's my hopes. So we're going to put this piece in the bead roller and get started on it. Got both the floor pans sitting in here. I got this edge cleaned up where they're going to be welded up along the side. I'm going to tack them in on the sides and then set the tranny tunnel on top of them and try to get it to line up with these flanges and tack it together, see what it looks like. Got the floor all tacked in. Just got a couple tacks on the sides. What I'm planning on doing, because it looks almost like this car's bowed out in the middle, which I don't know if it is, but I'm going to get me a piece and put underneath the floor there. I'm going to break it at a 90-degree angle so I can weld it to the rocker panel and then weld it to the bottom of the floor to give it a little more strength. And then I plan on drilling some holes in the middle above the frame rail where it runs through in here and spot welding it through there to get rid of the tin can sound. But it's not perfect by any means, but I think it looks pretty good for First time doing anything like this. So we'll get it welded in some more, welded more solid, and then we'll pull the motor out and put it up in the air and get everything painted and seam sealed to keep it from getting water in it and stuff. Last part for this video, working on the steering column. The problem that this column had once we cut it off is there was no bushing in the end, because this is my shaft and this was the outside, so this had about 1 inch of play up and down. So what I did, I'll see how well this works, is I got a 2x4 that I cut the hole out of with a hole saw. This was my first attempt that broke, but that's basically what I did is I cut a hole saw that would fit inside the steering column, and then I drilled a hole in the middle of that would fit around the shaft. So now I've got that in there and it is real solid. So hopefully that'll make the steering work a little better and not move around so much. But thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Tell me what you think of the project so far. Next time we should be welding the floor in solid and probably getting to work on the fuel tank and the rear floors. So thanks for watching.